This is the test subject, the 1985 Honda Goldwing GL1200. We're going to give you the jet tour, the tank, and the seat will be removed, as well as the left fairing pocket and the audio controller. Okay, here we are. Seat's off. Tank cover's off. At this point, we also have the audio control unit removed. The preamplifier has been taken out and disconnected. And when we took out the connections for the audio controller, we managed to tap into the blue one shown here. We can use a standard keyboard extension cable, and for that matter, a cable from an old keyboard. Connects the whole thing together. So, that's the essence of the shortcuts. We're going to tap into the power. The 7.5 amps is the continuous duty non-switched. The 20 amp is the switched from the ignition. I'm going to make a small additional modification, not just to make the radio functional, but to put in an override switch so that I can use power, DC power, without the key in the ignition. So I'll be able to flip and supply the 7.5 amp as the primary source, so I can just run the radio if I want to just sit there with the bike parked and no key in the ignition for whatever reason. The antenna is found underneath. If you trace it all the way from the back, you can disconnect it. They sell stretcher cables at VIP, or probably some of the other audio parts stores have them. I'm sure you can find them online. We just stretch the antenna cable. Everything's going to go back into the left saddlebag. I'm going to show you the radio in a minute. This is the radio. I purchased it on Amazon. It's made by a company called Dual. Seems to be a really decent unit. Comes with a wired remote control shown here. Additionally, all the functions that are available on the front panel are pretty much in the wired remote control. It comes with 18 feet of cable. Again, it is marine grade. It also gets, besides 18 FMs and 12 AMs, it gets 7 weather channels, plus it has direct control and charge capability for an iPod, and an additional auxiliary input that you could use for a satellite radio, but that might present its other challenges, getting all that wired in and what have you. We're just going to do the basic installation of the radio with the wired remote for now, with the iPod capability. We're going to make a little room in this left saddlebag pocket. We're going to stick the radio in there. We're going to drill a few holes in the corner next to the bike near the shock. Tuck all the wiring out there. As you can see, the radio fits. We'll have to build a custom bracket to hold it. Some silicone and some really cheap angle pieces that you can buy at Home Depot or wherever will certainly do the trick. I'm probably going to make mine out of wood, only for the simple reason I want to make the radio removable, even though additionally the face plate is already removable. Also, the wiring is going to be able to break apart in two places. The saddlebag itself has to be removable in case of a flat tire, so the wiring has to disconnect at the output where the saddlebag is, and also we'll have to disconnect inside the fairing pocket, because the fairing itself may have to be removed at some point for service. Additionally, we're also going to be placing a cigarette lighter extension, and that's going to come up inside the tank, the top cover slash false tank opening, the main opening, the other side of the gas cap. and we're going to be able to plug in accessories in there, lock them up, or keep them charging, or what have you. So that's the ultimate objective. For $13 at Target, they additionally sell a nice little unit that also contains a USB port in it, making that super handy. We can carry that around in the saddlebags and just use the primary if we're just running a GPS or charging a cell phone quickly, or a single device. If we need more than that, we've got this. Incidentally, the original radio with the cassette deck was supplied with the 20 amp service that I showed you in the left fairing pocket, and the new dual radio only draws 10 amps, so we got power to spare, so we can draw for a few accessories without any concerns. One other footnote, I guess, is the original radio was removed. As you know, the key goes in right under the clock. You turn it, you pull on the radio, out it comes. The radio will be able to be reinstalled. When you're done with this installation, you'll be able to just drop your radio in, put the audio controller back in, reconnect a couple of cables, and this thing will be off and running, and you'll be back to a factory radio. Other than the fact you just have to pop your dual radio out of the saddlebag to take with you if you should sell the bike or what have you. Here's a quick peek at the remote control, so you can see the physical size. It's sitting on the left fairing pocket. You can see it's not very big, about 4 inches in width, maybe 2.5 inches in height, about an inch and a quarter thick. It comes with 6 meters, or about 18 feet of extension cable, which should be enough to get you from A to B. The iPod dock makes a nice touch. That's included in the kit, along with the remote control, the extension cable, all of this stuff all comes in one package, all included. Additionally, there's also another harness that comes with the radio. This one has the wires that you're going to need to make the connections for the speaker. Don't forget, the speaker is that wire, that blue wire that came out of the audio controller, the automatic audio controller. This is the connection that's going to plug into the harness in the back of the stereo. So I guess you can put this in the saddlebag, run the small bundle of connections through. Just some comments: if you're looking for some wire to run the 12 volts power through from the 7.5 amp, the 20 amp, and the ground line, you could just get some cheap extension cord and use that, wire it up, plug it in, make it so it can plug and unplug. It's a little big. You may want to look around for some more compact solutions. I'm just using some cable that I had kicking around, nothing fancy. But I would recommend, if you are concerned about the amount of power going through, just grab a simple 3-prong extension cord, a couple of them actually. Don't have to be very expensive, and that'll be plenty of gauge. Usually they come in 16 gauge, and that's plenty of thickness. It'll more than support. That's overkill for the amount of power you'll be drawing for the radio, and even the other accessories. One other footnote: when we get into the power, we're going to make we're going to use one of those connectors that requires no cutting. So we're just going to snap right onto the wires below those labeled fuses, and we're going to make a harness from there. That way we can supply the power both to the cigarette lighter for the auxiliary stuff that's going to be inside of the top of the fake tank, and for the radio, for the wires that are going to run all the way back into the saddlebag, power the system. That's pretty much the essence of everything that needs to be done, and you're like 90% there. These are the speaker wires in the blue label